Welcome to this course on knowledge construction. This course focuses on what it means to construct knowledge in a learning activity and the quality of that construction. This lesson introduces the 21st century skill of knowledge construction, and we can begin to explore the implications for learning design and classroom practice. We will start with a short video to begin our look into knowledge construction.
Many of our education systems were initially designed during the Industrial Revolution, and they placed a major emphasis on the teachers sharing information with their students in class. This model of education generally views knowledge as something that is fixed and transmissible, placing a high value on students sitting passively, absorbing information, and later recalling it either orally or in written form. However, in today's globally connected world, will this model of education be sufficient? We live in a world that is constantly changing at an ever-increasing pace. In fact, we are swimming in a sea of information. If you consider that every minute, Facebook users share nearly 2.5 million pieces of content, Instagram users post nearly 220,000 new photos, Twitter users tweet nearly 300,000 times, and email users send over 200 million messages. We need to ask ourselves, is knowledge something static or is it dynamic and constantly evolving? We also need to be able to effectively make use of this vast volume of information in order to construct knowledge. To be able to navigate this vast volume of information, we need to prepare our students to have more than just the skill of retaining and regurgitating information that others have developed. There is a need for schools to design learning opportunities to move beyond repetition. All too often, we ask students to answer questions such as what is, who is, and how much, when in reality, we need to move beyond these questions that typically have one right answer. The idea of engaging deeply and constructing knowledge is not new. However, what has changed is the access to information. We now have instant access and a range of people who can help us with finding possible solutions. In addition, we also have available an ever-growing number and range of digital tools, which can offer us new ways of interacting with this information. Often referred to as mind tools, these can extend or augment our cognition, helping us to use this information in a new and exciting way to make sense of the world we live in. So we need to move beyond asking students questions that they already know the answer to, or that they can search for online instantly. With the advent of internet search engines, there is less of a need for them to know lots of facts. Instead, we should require them to use information to construct their own understandings and engage in meaningful meaning-making. We want them to construct knowledge by engaging in deep learning, where they have to interpret, analyse, synthesise and evaluate information in order to construct understanding. We want them to use their existing knowledge and move beyond mere recall in order to generate ideas or knowledge that is new to them. Then, once they understand concepts and ideas, in order to deepen their understandings, students need to apply their learning in a new context. Deep understanding also means being able to make connections across and between the big ideas. So rather than working within single discrete subject areas, such as mathematics, science, history or languages, students need opportunities to engage in learning across multiple disciplines. For example, can you really understand why artists of a particular time period painted in a certain way or used the techniques or materials they did if you don't have an appreciation and understanding of the economics and the social norms of the time period? By engaging in such learning, students will be better prepared to construct knowledge individually and in collaboration with their peers in order to make meaning and construct deep understandings of the dynamic, ever-changing world we live in.
Is what we have to say about knowledge construction consistent with your own ideas? Now, carry out a search online for knowledge construction. What did you find? Did you learn anything new? Is there something that you hadn't thought of before? How can we provide opportunities for our students to use their existing knowledge and move beyond mere recall in order to generate ideas or knowledge that is new to them? These are the issues we need to tease out as part of this course. This is so we can develop a shared understanding and a common language to use when describing what knowledge construction is and what skills are required in order to construct knowledge. So what skills do you think are required to construct knowledge effectively? Take a moment now. Think about what skills people use to construct knowledge. Can you come up with an example of how these skills are used to construct knowledge in a classroom-based activity? Now think about your classroom. Do your students get an opportunity to develop and use these knowledge construction skills? Can you think of some learning activities that would help students to develop the skills necessary to construct and apply knowledge in an interdisciplinary manner? Undoubtedly, everyone has identified a range of skills that are required for knowledge construction. But what we need to do as part of this course is to develop a shared understanding and common language to describe what knowledge construction is and what skills are required in order to construct knowledge effectively. If we know what knowledge construction looks like and what skills are required, we can then plan for it. By understanding knowledge construction and what we mean by it, we can then design learning activities that target the development of the skills necessary to be effective constructors of knowledge. 21st century learning environments are predominantly learner-centred, and teachers are attentive to students' knowledge, skills, attitudes and beliefs. Students are encouraged to ask questions and engage in social discourse and find out their own answers. In such settings, the role of the educator changes from being a transmitter of content to that of co-constructor of knowledge. In this lesson, we introduced the 21st century skill of knowledge construction, and we have started to think about how we can facilitate effective knowledge construction in our classrooms. In the next lesson, we will explore the big ideas in knowledge construction.